Well, it was a big weekend of sports here, at least kind of for me, I guess, and for a lot of people. I actually started out the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. I officiated the pretty big national dual tournament for wrestling up at Ivy Hall in Des Moines this weekend. Seen a lot of really good matches and officiated some really tight matches and had a few heated matches in the mix, but overall it was a very good tournament. There was a lot of really good matches, a lot of really tough kids there, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I actually kind of glad I got the opportunity to do that. And then on Sunday I was able to watch my son play a couple of baseball games. His first two games of the year with a completely new team. Most of the kids he'd never played with before. Had a little rough game, couple rough games. Did pretty good though. He hit the ball really well. He did a good job. And playing against a couple teams that have been playing together for a while, so they kind of know each other. And these kids are just getting to know each other. So I was proud of how they did, and I was proud of them. They did good. They were able to come back in the first game and make it pretty dang close. And the second game was a little tougher, but it is what it is, and they'll learn. They'll get better. And like I said, it was their first time playing together, so they're still learning from how to read each other and learning from each other, and still learning how to become teammates and whatnot. So I was proud of them though. They did a good job. And of course yesterday, the women's national, NCAA national championship game was yesterday afternoon. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan. I was really hoping they'd win. I really do not watch basketball, but I did have to watch a couple of the Iowa women's games this year. I was very proud of how they were able to do it, and I know they were proud of what they were able to accomplish this year, and what they were able to accomplish this year is really nothing short of amazing what they were able to accomplish this year. But I think the way they were able to do it is something that I want to talk about more than anything. They didn't just go out, they didn't go out and talk about me. Every time I heard an interview or anything about any one of the players talking, was always about how much they loved their team and playing with their team and their teammates, and how much they love their teammates, and just giving credit to their teammates and giving credit to the other team. Every time they'd win or lose, hey, that was a good team. They had a really good game plan, or they, hey, they're a really good team, had some really good players on them, whatever. They always gave credit where credit was due, and that's something that learning, being able to win and lose with dignity is something that Lisa Bluter, who's the Iowa women's coach, is I think very, very good at teaching and getting players that are that way. Caitlin Clark obviously is a superstar in the women's college basketball right now. I think probably hands down, I don't think you're going to find too many people that'll argue against it. She's the best player in women's basketball, at least women's college basketball right now. But every time I heard an interview, anytime I ever heard her in an interview, she was always talking about her teammates and lifting up her teammates and how their teammates believed in themselves, and how she was able to pick up her teammates, and her teammates were able to pick up her, and that's what it's all about. Learning how to working together as a team and getting better and working as a team and really being a team. I'll be honest. The Iowa women. Just like most, a lot of the sports in Iowa, probably not the most athletic, probably not the just, best pure athletes out there, but they win with grit. They win by playing together. You see that a lot with like the football team. The football team is definitely not the most talented. They beat a lot of teams that are a lot more talented than they are, just by, playing together, playing with grit, whatnot. And I think the Iowa women took a kind of a page out of that, and were able to do a lot of that, and just playing together and playing as a team, and learning how to read each other, and knowing how to read each other, and knowing how to work together. I mean, yeah, Caitlin Clark is a superstar, but she also understands that she couldn't win without her teammates, and she'll be the first one to tell you that. And I know a lot of people probably don't like her because she's kind of a little fireball. She plays with passion. You can tell that she loves playing the game. She loves playing with her teammates and whatnot. And but I'm sure there's people that don't like her because of that. But you can't fault her for saying, or say that she's selfish or anything that way. She is far from it. Every interview I've ever heard her talking, anytime I've ever heard her talk, is always about her teammates and whatnot and what they can do to get better. But she'll be the first one to talk about, if there's something that she needed to do better, she'll be the first one to talk about it. I didn't really get to see much of the championship game. I was, like I said, my son was playing baseball at a baseball game, so I didn't really get to watch much of it. Kind of glanced at it, watched a few spots here and there, but I was mainly watching my son's baseball game. But regardless, I was happy. I was proud. I think the Iowa women, what they were able to do should be incredibly inspirational to everybody. I mean, nobody really gave them a chance to do that. They were able to beat the number one team Friday night, end a 42-game win streak, and make it as far, farther than they ever had in school history. I mean, it's incredible what they were able to do. It was absolutely incredible. Hats off to them. And I know there's a lot of people that are upset with the LSU players, mainly one that spent a lot of time after the game. She spent a lot of time taunting Caitlin Clark, doing that whole whatever gesture that Caitlin Clark had done, a few games ago to as a celebration to her teammates. But that's not anywhere close to the same. I mean, Caitlin Clark did it towards her teammates as a celebration deal. She didn't follow anybody around, directed at anybody like the LSU player did. And that's another reason I'm definitely proud to be an Iowa fan. They win or lose with dignity. They showed a lot of class, a lot of passion, and a lot of class in how they handled it. I heard LSU players did not shake Iowa players' hands after the game, which I think is absolutely atrocious. And that, to me, shows a lack of class from the coaches at LSU. That's on the coaches. And that's something that I think, whether you win or lose, you need to go out, congratulate the other team, shake their hand, tell them good game or whatever, talk to them a little bit. Win with class, lose with class. It is what it is. I mean, I know when and definitely when you win, there's no excuse. That's lower than losing. And I mean, I don't know. That's to me, there's no excuse. Shake hands, congratulate them, give credit where credit's due. Iowa was able to do that in a win, in their losses, in their wins. Either way, LSU did not, and that shows pretty bad character to me. I know when I was officiating up there this weekend, there was a lot of heated matches, but you know what? They got up, shook hands, had several of the wrestlers come shake my hands. Almost all the teams, when they'd get done with their duel, on their way and shake hands, they get done shaking hands. A lot of the teams come over and shook my hand after. That's class. I love seeing that. That shows a lot of class. That shows a lot of character, and that's something that I think we need to teach more of and have the kids, doing more of. So, regardless, it was a big day of sports. There were some good things. There were some bad things. I kind of went over what I like to see, what I liked about the deal. I mean, I was hoping Iowa would win. Obviously, I never really watched basketball, but I'm an Iowa fan. I was hoping they'd win. They come up a little short, but you know what? I'm still just as proud of them as I would have been if they'd have won, because of how they handled everything. They handled losing better than LSU handled winning, and that shows a lot of class, shows a lot of character. they got a lot better character and a lot better class than LSU did, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people, if you actually look at it, you'll understand. You'd actually agree with me. So regardless, if you like the video, check out this one right up here.